Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And if you have been following, for instance, Wordle in a Minute in the last month, you will have seen I've been out and about a bit, or at least around. I was going to say around the country. I spent the last 3 nights in Edinburgh. I was at the Fringe to see a few comedy shows and greatly enjoyed my time there. Spent a few nights there and yeah, some very good shows which I was watching with my daughter. Good fun. So I recommend it to anyone who's thought about going to the Fringe Festival, a comedy festival in Edinburgh that takes place basically during the whole month of August pretty much. But anyway, now I am back with my... Yes, if you want to see more of the extraordinary wallpaper, you could go to the Connections video that I posted today as well. That's on our Patreon site, and on Patreon as well as Connections videos. Well, there are Sudoku hunts every month. Coming later in the week, we've got a number of videos recording Simon's attempts to solve a listener puzzle, a listener crossword puzzle. These are the very hard puzzles over which Simon and I first bonded discussing listener crosswords. And they appear on in the Times on Saturdays. They are very difficult, not only cryptic, but also with an end game. Or in the case of the one that you will see if you join us on Patreon and look at Simon's videos that will be coming out towards the back end of this week. Many end games sometimes. It's really, I can't trail it enough. I haven't watched every second of the videos because I think they're going to take quite a while to get through, and I haven't had the time lately, so that is coming up, and it's going to be very interesting. Do join us on Patreon, and then you'll be ready for the 1st of next month when we are bringing you Blobs' Back to the Future hunt, and that is going to be brilliant. We did a couple of Back to the Future puzzles on the anniversary of the movie, and Blobs has done a whole pack based on it, and it's fantastic. I mean, I really, the visual look and feel of these puzzles is brilliant. And I'm doing a Blobs Puzzles Day today to commemorate that. Blobs keeps us stocked with some excellent puzzles. This one I'm going to be doing today is a slow thermo puzzle. And again, look at the design of it. Absolutely brilliant. And slow thermo probably suits my mood because normally you just have to plug away at these. Maybe I'm not hoping to come up with any groundbreaking breakthroughs today. We'll see. Anyway, that's all. A lot of stuff on Patreon, and jolly good it is too. We haven't posted the solution videos for the Rostam hunt yet. They will be going up at some point, as will the correct solvers, etc. So that is all coming possibly by the end of this month, or possibly just dragging into next month. But we will get that up to date. And now, what else have we got going on? Of course, all of our apps are fantastic. They do feature line Sudoku. We have a thermo Sudoku app. I don't know if there are any slow thermos in it. Probably not, because it would be confusing. But anyway, often the slow thermo puzzles we've done on the channel before have been by Mr. Toffee. But as I say, this one's by Blobs. You can also get to SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD on the links under the video and our Discord server, etc. But do have a look at the first link, which is to this puzzle. It's called Spring Has Sprung. The rules are very simple. Normal Sudoku rules apply: 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. And along the thermometers, digits, as you develop from the bulb towards the end of the line, digits must not get smaller, but they can stay the same by slow thermo rules. Between that cell and that cell, for instance, you could have the same digit. You can't get smaller, and you can get bigger. Okay, give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. And is one of these lines longer than the other, or are they exactly symmetrical? I think they are. So let's see what the minima we could achieve. If that was a 1, this could be 1 again. Then 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Good. So there are only 2 candidates for each cell. and let's mark them in. So I'm obviously, when I'm staying in the same box, I'm realizing that I must increase. And that also applied in the same column there and there. 2 or 3 there. Then these are a 3-4 pair in the same column, I note. That's 4 and 5. These could be 4 and these are going to be 4 and 5, I imagine. Those are going to be 4 and 5. Those are going to be 5 and 6. These we're selecting from 6 and 7. I'm slightly selecting my language carefully because, let me try and explain this. I know that that's going to be a 1-2 pair because they're in the same row and box. So it's got to be, since they're the only candidates and they both must exist. That must be a 5-6 pair. And consequently, everything in between, once you make one of these a 5, you can push back towards the beginning of the thermo and you must go 4, 3, 2, 1. However, once you push, we have to bear in mind that both of these ends could be 9s. And therefore that means that this doesn't have to be an 8-9 pair. That could be a 9 one side and an 8 the other. And therefore the sort of pairing only works up to levels at which it can be proved it has to work. It's very hard for me to explain that, but I think this 5-6, which are a pair that see each other, is the last known such forced pairing. And I mean, I could be wrong because, no, I think that could be a 7-7, for instance. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to explain why I'm not prepared to go further in the marking. What I should do is just think about where we are now in Sudoku terms, rather than waffling away about theory so much. So in this row, we've got a 5-6 pair and a 1-2 pair already. What do we know about anything else? Or do we find a 4-piece corner thermo that is really useful now? I don't know. I mean, all I've done is kind of what I was looking for, is a sort of very mechanical thing so far, is mark up these 2 long thermos with their 2 candidates. That must be a 2-3 pair. That is definitely a 3-4 pair. They're in the same column. This, because it comes before that 5-6 pair, this is a 4-5 pair. So is that. This is another 4-5 pair. In fact, these are always the same. And these are always the same and different from the yellow cells. So, okay, that's an interesting thought experiment, perhaps. Where does pink go here? In one of these 3, and yellow in one of those 3. One of those is pink. One of those is pink. One of those is yellow. One of those is yellow. Oh, I didn't manage to mark the pink ones. That's strange. Okay. What's that telling me, if anything? One of these is a 4-3-2. One of them is a 5-4-3. This is 5-6-7-8 in one world, and 4-5-6-7. No, not necessarily, because it goes after. It could be 4-5-7-8 in the other world. Actually, this might be interesting. I'm comparing that knuckle with this stuff. So, if this was 5-6-7-8, these 2 couldn't have a 9 on. They would have to be from, or a 1 because of their positions on the thermo. So they'd have to be from 2, 3, 4. And I think this would be impossible. I may have picked a really interesting spot. So these cells, in one version of these spiral curves, these are 2, 3, 4. And in the other version, they're 3, 4, 5. So they always include a 3 and a 4. The same is true up here. Those digits are looking at this cell. If this was 5, 6, 7, 8, what digit could you put here? It can't be 1, 2, or 9 based on the shape and size of this thermo, which these corner thermos, of course, must increase all the way along, slow thermo puzzle or not, because they're all entirely within the same box. If you had a 1 or a 2 on this thermo, it would have to be in the first 2 cells. If you had a 9, it would have to be at the end. If that was 5, 6, 7, 8, this cell in the puzzle, row 2, column 8, which I think now is the key cell, would be broken. And therefore this is not 5, 6, 7, 8 as a group. Now, what does that mean? That means this digit is not a 6. One of these two is a 6, and where that occurs, the digit before it has to be a 5, because in the other case, you've got a 5, and then before that on the curve, you have to have 4, 4, 4 in either yellow or pink as it goes. And on the other curve, you have to have 5, 5, 5 because you're only working down towards a 2 in the central box. So if you had a 6 here, you would have to have 5 there and 7, 8 here, because these must then grow bigger. And that would be broken because of this cell. So this is not a 6, this is a 5. And now we can fill in all the yellows are 4s. That's a 3, that's a 2, 2, 1, 1, and that takes us into the other curve, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5 along the pinks, 6, 7. Now we can take this one all the way to the end, 8, then we must increase because we're still in box 1, 9, and a 9. This one we cannot take all the way to the end. This is where the difference I was trying to explain earlier has actually materialized. Because this could go 7, 8, 9, 9 now, as far as I can see. There might be a reason why it can't. Actually, it's probably connected with this now. Oh no, but it is, yes, oh look, now that 9 is there, looking at that cell, it is connected with that. If this digit is not allowed to be 2, 3, 4, or 5, based on its position on the line, it can't be 1 or 9 either. So this is 6, 7, or 8, and we've now got a triple. Now it can't be 8, because that would be 9 and would clash with that. So it's 6 or 7, and we've got a pair, and that digit is an 8. And now we know that the line ends 9 and 9. And that's intriguing. On the two central circular spirals, sort of almost circular spirals, we're left with just one digit, and it's there, and I don't know what it is. That's hilarious. Right, this digit is bigger than 6 or 7, but it's not 9, so it's 7 or 8. I'm feeling very lucky. I'm feeling very lucky that I seem to have just lucked into spotting how important this cell was. Now, there may be other break-ins to this puzzle. It's possible, but this that we found was a very clever one, very, very Blobsian, if that's a thing one could say. It was very clever. I'm delighted. Anyway, 5, 4, 3, 9, 8, and a 6, 7 pair, all looking at this cell. So this is 1 or 2, somewhat unsurprisingly. But this digit, which could be 2, can't then be 3, 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8. So it must be 2, in fact. That's a 2, that's a 1. Let's go up the rest of this column. We've got 3 and 9 to place. We know where they go in box 3. This digit, clearly a 1 or a 2 on the bulb. Now let's have a look here, because this is eliminating a lot of things. 5, 4, 3, 9, 1, 6, 7, 8. That is a naked single. There's only one Sudoku digit that can go there, and that is a 2. And I'm going to look at this one and see if I get the same. Absolutely, really easy to see. 8, 7, 6, 5, 9, 2, 3, 4, looking at that. So that's a 1. I mean, they're not actually very helpful digits, but let's look at the rest of this column. We need a 9 in it. Well, it clearly can't go there or there, so 9 is there. The other two are 4 and 3, and we've got a 3 up here telling us which way around they go. Now that's a 4. This is either 5 or 6, and this is either 6 or 7. Now we've got another 6, 7 pair in the puzzle. That digit is an 8. This digit to complete the row is a 5. I don't think my pink and yellow colouring is really going anywhere in this puzzle, so I'm going to take out those pink cells and that one. Yeah, I don't think it's doing anything at all. So what I'm actually going to do is colour these two against each other as a 6, 7 pair. So, no, not grey, let's go green. Orange versus green in the battle of 6s and 7s. I mean, I think most of this is actually done. I don't know why I'm worrying about that. We need a 3 in row 3. We can just paste it in there. That is 6 or 7, but I can't colour it yet. Where should I be going? 1, 1, I can put in a 1 there now. 1, 1, I can put in a 1 there. A 2 in the corner in the bulb. That is a 6 or a 7. I am going to colour it. Now I can colour this one. And that's now a 1, 5 pair that I can't resolve. These are from 6, 7, 8. What's this? It's not allowed to be a 5, so it's 6 or 7, and I colour it. Here we go, that's the 5 in the box. 7, 6, 5, 1. One of these is a 3. 2 in the box has to be there. One of these two's a 9. 9, 2, 3, 5 down here. Let's look at this row actually. We've got 6, 7 and 8 to place. Right, this digit is either 6 or 7. This one is not allowed to be 1, 2, 3, 9, 8. It's got to be less than that, and it's not 3. So it is 4, 5 or 6. In fact, I can colour this one orange. This is where green goes in column 7. So it's not a 5. Now I've found the 5 in the box. It's in the corner. Now I've found the 4 in the box. And this is, of course, green, another 6 or 7. Right, the remaining green in this row is going to have to be there because of this green sitting up here. So actually it's been helpful to do the colouring. Good. Now, 2, 8, 1, 4, 5. That is a 3, 9 pair. These are from 6, 7, 8. I wonder if there's still a difficult stage left of this puzzle. 6, 7, 2, 1, 9, 5. That is a naked 4. This is a 3, 8 pair. This is a 9, 4 pair, it looks like. If I haven't got my numbers wrong. We need an orange down here. Oh, I don't know. But we also need a 1, and I do know that that can't go here on the thermo. So the 1 is there, orange is on the thermo in the corner. And these are a 1, 8 pair, and now I can finally fill in a pair that's bulking out these middle boxes. That's going to sort out 5 and 1. 5 in the central box, yes, that's doable. 2, 7, 1, 5, 4. Oh, this is classic blobs, isn't it? There's always something going on, and something a bit more than you were expecting at first. It's absolutely where we found ourselves today. Okay, this central row. 6 is there, looking at that cell. 6, 1, 2, 5. That is not allowed to be 3 or 4. So where does 4 go in the row? That's a good question. Must go there. Now, don't know, that's 7, 8 or 9. But we got a 9 here out of that. 9 in the central box is in one of those two. Okay, let's do something else. 2, 6 and 7 here, we know where the 2 goes. That's 6 or 7, I can keep my colouring going. It's been actually very successful, so I shouldn't begrudge a little colour. That, for instance, can't be green in this column, so green must be at the top, and that must be an 8 after all. That's going to fix 3, 8 as a pair. It's going to stop the central cell being 8. This must be known, that is an 8 as well. Then I have 6, 7, 9 to put in the centre. One of those is a 6 or 7, and I can colour it therefore on my scheme that has nearly made its way through every box in the grid now. We've got the 6, 7 pair in this column, so 4 and 3 to place. That is very straightforward. If I could hit the right buttons, 9 and 3 there. That 9 looks at this cell, 6, and finally at the very last ditch we get told what orange is, therefore, is 7. Green must be 6. This is a 9 in the centre of the puzzle, and we've got 8 and 7, and there we go. That is Spring Has Sprung. It's like a spring, a coiled spring by Blobs. Fabulous puzzle, not too difficult, but I got very lucky with identifying what I suspect is the spot where you really have to look. Out of these little framework of puzzle of rows 2 and 8, columns 2 and 8, this is the only one that isn't a bulb, which is easily populated with 1 or 2. So it mattered. And I was lucky enough to just try it out. And there we are. Excellent work, as always, from Blobs. What a master he is. I cannot recommend to you highly enough that you join us on Patreon by September the 1st at least, so you can look at Blobs' brilliant Back to the Future Sudoku hunt and have a go at it. And yes, actually Simon's videos on Listen by Eck, which is the listener puzzle in question, I think they're going to begin tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, isn't it? The deadline for the puzzle for entering the puzzle as a competition did close last week, so it's a week after that pretty much, and I hope there's some compensation for the fact that I couldn't post my regular crossword video this month because of a recording glitch, and that will return next month. Thank you so much for watching us on the channel. It's always an absolute pleasure to be with you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.